Today, I'm going to show you 10 must-have accessories for your Sony A7C. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt. So you just got your brand new Sony A7C and you're wondering what accessories you should get first? Well, you came to the right place. Alright, let's get started. The first thing on the list is a Smallrig L-Bracket. In the past, I've used other Arca-Swiss mounting plates and they drive me absolutely crazy. For one, even though they typically have rubberized feet, they tend to turn and come loose because there's nothing to key them to the camera body. Also, the giant bump on the bottom of your camera means that it's almost impossible to get your camera to sit flat on anything, which drives me nuts. The L-Bracket, on the other hand, is keyed to the camera body, so it'll rarely come loose and it'll never spin. Also, it's flat on the bottom, so it's way less likely to tip over on its own. It has Arca-Swiss mounting locations for both portrait and landscape modes, and the plate slides out to give you better access to the doors and to make more room for cables, and you can take the plate off completely if you want. It has several 1/4-inch threaded mounting holes for attaching accessories like lights, cold shoe adapters, handles, etc. An added bonus for you who have larger hands is that the L-Bracket will extend the grip downwards, making more room for your pinky to grab onto. And to top things off, the tools needed to install and adjust the bracket are magnetically attached, so you'll never lose them and you'll always have them handy. Unfortunately, Smallrig hasn't started selling this L-Bracket on Amazon yet, but I was able to pick mine up on eBay. At the time of making this video, the Smallrig L-Bracket is listed between 30 and 35 bucks on eBay. Next up, and probably my new favorite accessory for the A7C, is this aftermarket Eyecup by a company called Kiwifotos. If you've seen my A7C versus A7 III video, then you know that one of my main annoyances with the A7C is that Sony didn't include an Eyecup for the EVF. Now I'm the type of photographer that often likes to shoot into the sun, so the stock EVF definitely gives me problems with light leakage. Luckily, Kiwifotos addressed this issue with their hot shoe mountable Eyecup, and so far it's been amazing. It snaps on and off in seconds. It has a large silicone eye cup that's comfortable and does a really good job of blocking out the sun. The only two downsides to this product that I've noticed so far is one, there's a small plastic lip on the inside of this product and it blocks the very top of the OLED display. It's not too big of a deal. I'll probably get in there with a Dremel or an X-Acto and trim that a little bit, but even if I didn't do that, I think it'd still be fine. And the other problem, of course, is that you now don't have access to your hot shoe. That's not too big of an issue for me because I rarely use on-camera flashes. I purchased this Eyecup for $14 US on Amazon, and I think it's worth every penny. I'll make sure to link it down below for you guys. In fact, I like it so much that I'm probably going to buy another one just as a backup in case something happens to this. Next item on the list is a variable ND filter. Variable ND filters are a must for photographers and cinematographers. If you don't know what a variable ND filter is, just think about it as sunglasses for your camera. If you plan to shoot outside on a bright sunny day with your aperture wide open, or if you shoot long exposures, you're gonna need an ND filter to bring your exposure down so you don't blow out your highlights. I recommend starting with a 2 to 5 stop filter, but you may find that you'll need a 6 to 9 stop filter as well. And please do yourself a favor and buy an 82mm filter and step-up rings to mount to all your different lenses. That will save you a ton of money in the long run because then you won't have to buy different filters for all your different lens sizes. And by buying a larger filter, you're minimizing your chances of vignetting caused by the edges of the filter. Now I know that the Polar Pro, Peter McKinnon variable ND filters, or PMVNDs, are pretty expensive. Not super expensive, pretty expensive, but I highly recommend saving up and going straight for these. I've messed around with less expensive filters in the past, but there are a few things about the Polar Pro filters that make them the obvious choice. One being the image quality. Now, Gerald Undone has already done an exhaustive test on different variable ND filters, and he did an amazing job. In his test, he found that the PMVNDs were one of the best products that he tested in that video. So I'm not gonna bore you guys by rehashing that whole experiment. In addition to the image quality, Polar Pro has addressed some of the annoyances that I've had with other variable ND filters. For one, I always found using a variable ND filter in my workflow super annoying. How do I pack it in my bag and keep dust out? How do I use a lens cap when it's mounted on the camera? Sure, I could use one of those big bulky rubber lens caps that go over the entire lens, but for my whole life, I've been the type of person to pop a lens cap off, throw it in my pocket, snap away some photos, and then snap the cap back on. And with those big rubber covers, you just can't do that. You're like, where do I put this thing? Polar Pro sat down and really gave some of these issues some serious thought. Let me show you. Now, say I just took this out of my camera bag and unscrewed the rear cover. What do I do with it? Do I have to go back into my camera bag and plop it in there? Nope, not with the Polar Pro. Once you remove the rear cover, it actually attaches to the front cover. So you don't have to do anything with it. It just attaches on there and stays there, and it's always gonna be handy when you need it. But wait, that's not all. The lens cap portion actually has a rubberized sleeve that you can use as a grip to help you install the filter onto your lens. That's not all. And because the lens cap has a rubberized sleeve on it, you can leave it on the filter all the time when you're not shooting, which is amazing. You don't have to deal with those big bulky rubber caps. You just have this nice slim cap that slips over your filter. And it's slim enough that when you do remove it, it can fit in your pocket. Damn, I can't tell you how happy this makes me. Oh, you thought I was done? No, there is actually more. Another thing that I absolutely love about the Polar Pro VNDs is that they have hard stops at the minimum and maximum, and they also have detents at the different f-stops. This is a total game changer for me because with the cheaper filters, you have to always be monitoring whether you go too far on either end of the spectrum, because if you do, you get that dreaded X-shaped cross-polarization pattern, which just ruins your shot. But with the Polar Pro, it has hard stops on the min and max, so you never have to worry about that. And the detents on the f-stop means that I can completely manipulate this filter without ever having to look at it, which seriously speeds up your workflow. Seriously though, Polar Pro and Peter McKinnon hit it out of the park with this filter. It's almost like they read my mind and made the exact filter that I would have wanted. Go out and get one, you won't be disappointed. And if you are, I'm sorry, don't talk to me, go talk to Peter. The next thing that I suggest you get is a nice portable light. I often find myself in situations where I need just a little bit of extra fill light, and for me, the Aperture MC has been working great. The Aperture MC is RGB with an adjustable white temperature from 3200 to 6500 Kelvin. It's extremely bright, it's fully dimmable, and it has a CRI rating of 96. It has 9 special lighting effects like police car, TV, fireworks, things like that. It has a 1/4-20 mounting hole on the bottom, and it has super strong magnets on the back for attaching to random ferrous metal objects around the set. It also comes with a soft silicone diffuser, which works really well, a soft case, and a USB Type-C charging cable. And one of the best things is that it's fully controllable with Aperture's easy-to-use Citus Link app. Now, I don't typically use camera straps, but if I know I'm going to be shooting for a pretty long time, or if I need help stabilizing a video, I'll throw one on. When I do use one, I always go for the Peak Design camera strap. I love how quick and easy it is to attach and detach the straps, and also adjusting the length of the straps is super simple. Now, I know there are cheaper straps out there, but I think that the ease of use and the build quality of the Peak Design strap make it well worth the money. And it looks really good. As a photographer or filmmaker, you need a really nice camera bag to protect all your gear while also allowing you to access that gear quickly and easily. I've had tons of camera bags throughout the years, but recently I've been using the Lowepro ProTactic BP450 AWII, and it's been amazing. For me and my workflow, this is definitely the best camera bag that I've found thus far. For a while, I did try the Nomadic Peter McKinnon bag, and while it's super nice, I loved it, it was just too big for my everyday use. That thing is enormous. Now there are tons of reviews of this bag on YouTube, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the details. Just know that I think it's an amazing bag. It has plenty of storage space, tons of compartments, a built-in rain jacket, the list goes on and on. Let me know down in the comments if you wanna see how I pack out my bag. Now, I know tripods are not the most exciting thing to talk about, but as photographers and filmmakers, we all need them. I often find myself walking or hiking pretty far to locations to shoot, so I don't often use a really large tripod. I've been using the Corey Punks tripod from 3-Legged Thing for a while now, and it's been working great for me. The reason that I went with this particular tripod is because it has one of the best maximum height to folded length ratios that I could find. The Corey's max height is 59 inches and it folds down to 13.7 inches, which is pretty awesome. Some of the other things that I really like about this tripod is that it has a lot of height adjustment, it has a great ball head, one of the legs can be removed if you want to use it as a monopod, and the center column also can be inverted for really low shots. In addition to a real tripod, I also use a small Manfrotto handheld tripod for low shots on awkward surfaces like rocks and stuff like that, or for vlogging. I also suggest picking up some of these Arca Swiss mounts for mounting to all your different types of tripods and mounts. They're super useful to have around, and they're not too expensive. For longer shoots, you're definitely gonna need extra batteries. Now in my experience, genuine Sony batteries have higher capacity and they typically have a longer lifespan than the cheaper alternatives. So I suggest that you get at least 1 or 2 extra genuine Sony batteries. Now while I think genuine Sony batteries are worth the extra money, I don't feel the same about the chargers. I think the Sony battery chargers are way overpriced. So what I do is I go buy 1 or 2 Sony batteries and then I go and buy an aftermarket charger that comes with a few more batteries. I've been using this RAV Power charger and batteries for a while now and they've been super solid. No complaints. And don't worry, the RAV charger will work with the Sony batteries. Now once in a while, your plates or your mounts may come loose or you may want to remove them altogether. So in that case, you're going to need some tools in your bag. It's super useful to have a multi-tool like this one from Smallrig. It's got a big flathead screwdriver for plates and brackets, things like that. It's also got a bunch of Allen keys, it's got a Torx wrench, it's got a Phillips head and a flathead screwdriver, and it also has some 1/4-20 mounting holes here for if you want to keep some extra screws on you, so super useful. This is the one that I use, but I know there are a bunch of other tools out there that are just as good or better than this. So I think I just like the look of this one, it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, getting dust on your lens and on your image sensor is inevitable. If you're anything like me, then you spend hours on YouTube agonizing over every single little minute detail before buying a new lens or camera body. Now, think about it, what's the point in agonizing over all those little details if you're gonna shoot with a dirty lens or a dirty image sensor, right? It makes no sense. So do yourself a favor, get one of these little blower bulb thingies. They're not very expensive, and get a lens cloth. And once you get those 2 things, get into the habit of just cleaning your lenses and your sensor before every shoot. That's what I do. Maybe you don't have to do it that often, but I'm often shooting outside in the dust. My equipment gets dirty pretty fast, so before every shoot, I always clean off my lens and my sensor. Alright guys, there you have it. Those are my 10 accessories that I think you should get first for your Sony A7C. Isn't this an amazing time that we live in? I feel like in this day and age, we're so spoiled. I can't tell you how happy I am that I feel like I can think about something and say, I wish I had such and such for my camera, and then hop on Amazon, search it up, and poof, there it is. Someone makes it. It's like, what? I'm so grateful and thankful to be a photographer and cinematographer in this day and age. It's just amazing. I love it. Accessorizing my camera, it just makes me so happy. I love buying stuff for my camera. It's just, there's nothing better. Also, for my fellow A7C shooters out there, can we all agree that the A7C has the best shutter sound out of like any camera ever? I mean, I just love the sound of this thing. It's just awesome. Ooh, listen to that. Music to my ears. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm having so much fun making these camera related videos, so I'm gonna keep on making them whether you like it or not, so be sure to check them out. My name is Matt, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.